welcome everyone to the Health and Wellness virtual cooking class with our chef Aury Dukon. How's everybody going out there? If you joined our last class, we're going to use a similar template as for questions, which will be using the chat function in YouTube Live. And for our moderation today, we have Katie Geary. Katie, how you doing?
Hey, Dave.
There's Dennis. And we have Dennis as well. So Katie's going to be answering all of your questions. And just to get started, we've got 3 great recipes. And we are going to be doing, we're going to invite our guest chef to talk about that, local to Chicago, Aury Dukon. Hello, Aury. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me and have this opportunity to share the first virtual cooking class with me. And well, yes, my name is Aury Dukon, and I'm so happy to join during this time when we are finally having the chance to slow down, cook at home, eat at home. And today we're going to be the magicians. So yeah, so welcome and let's go.
So Aury, let's hear about your 3 recipes that you have. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody that we are going to do a photo contest. So after the show, you will be able to send your photos in of what you cooked. And if you're the winner, Aury will pick a winner, and you are going to be able to win a cake from Aury. This is one of her cakes right there. She's going to make something special for you. So let's take a look at the 3 recipes. Aury, tell us about what we're cooking tonight.
The 16-minute class is going to be divided into 3 recipes, and we're going to work the Southeastern Asian tempeh tofu or chicken, golden bath sweet potato, and super healthy salad, which is a Greek yogurt Greek salad. I also want to mention that during this class, we are going to use the oven as our ally, which is always a good idea when we're rushing in the kitchen to use it. And that way we are going to work 2 dishes in the oven while we will have the chance to work into another little details for the other recipes. That's it.
Great. Great. Yeah, let's dive in. Want to start talking about the tools, and you can just start taking us through the recipes.
Okay. Yes. So for the tools, you will need the tray. You will need a small pot to cook the quinoa. You will need the 1 or 2 trays to cook in the tempeh or your protein choice. And you will need a tray for baking the sweet potatoes. We're just going to need pretty simple tools like fork, spoons, and the plates for the presentation. Probably a grater or a tester for lemon and ginger in case you have fresh ginger. And in case you also have fresh turmeric. And we are going to use another small pot to heat it up the leftover of the marinade and plate with that. And of course, a cutting board and a knife. Yes.
Awesome. Well, Aury, let's jump into the recipes then. Do you want to get started?
Yes. Yeah, sure. So the first step, and I choose to start with, is with the sweet potatoes. I already have advanced in the process to pierce the sweet potato with the fork in both sides, top and the bottom. You can see all the holes. And after that, I just scrub the, in my case, I choose coconut oil, and I just scrub it, and preferably just on the top. And after that, you can just put the salt and pepper And I'm already get a little one in the oven. And I will show you how to, the important part, and that's why I'm doing this in the foil, is because I want to hurry the process, and that way I can have this sweet potato done faster. It should be totally complete cover like this one. So I will put these two in the oven like this, just with salt, pepper, and the oil of your choice. And I will also prepare a little canoe where I'm going to do the golden bath. The golden bath is that delicious and juicy fat that is going to cover our potatoes puree. So I just want to do it in here to also create the same steam effect that I want to create in the sweet potatoes. And I will choose, in this case, a ghee. Then I made it yesterday. It's super easy to do. If you guys want to work on this, you just need to put some butter in the pot for about 20 minutes and skim the top. And after you skim the top crust, you let it cool down. And then with cheesecloth and a strainer, you will pour this and you will obtain clarified butter, which is ghee. And I will use one garlic. Then I will, if you see this one doesn't look to have one, but if you see if you're going to eat the garlic, please try always to remove the vein, because that is the problem that creates inflammation in your stomach when you eat garlic. In this case, I will just like put the garlic into big pieces, some salt again, pepper. I guess I will need more of this butter too. And the turmeric. I have already my blend, my secret blend, which has turmeric, cumin, black seed, and ginger. It's a pretty powerful blend. You can use just turmeric as much as you want. And we'll close this. Put it into the oven. When we are in the second step, we are not putting it now because we can burn the garlic. So this is going to be in the oven just when we are a little more closer to serve the dish. And this is the first step we're going to have during the recipe. We already finished the sweet potatoes, and we are going with Dave, who has something to share with us.
Hey, how's it going? Just Aury, let's check in with everyone. I wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing.
Yes.
You guys following along? Send your messages to Katie. Let her know. Jess, how are you doing over there? Can't hear you, Jess.
Sorry. I actually missed that last step. Aury, would you mind repeating some of those steps? I was struggling to cut up the sweet potato actually, and missed almost all of that.
Okay.
I'm guessing I'm not the only one.
Yes, what you need is to cut in half the sweet potato. Is the most important. Yes, put it in half. Then you will pierce the potato and the top and into the bottom too with fork. That will allow to the steam to cook the whole potato. Then you will wrap it in, and then you will just rub some coconut oil or the oil of your choice and salt and pepper. Scrub it a little bit more and just wrap it into foil. And I forgot something pretty important, which is preheat the oven. So you need to set the oven to 375. We are going to set the oven in this temperature today because we have a big range of options like tofu, tempeh, and chicken, and the sweet potato. But you can be more specific and you can probably go higher. But this is a pretty standard measure that will help us to manage the 3 coctions we're going to do.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, awesome. That is great to hear that I hope everyone else is keeping up. Send in your chats if you need to Katie. And Aury, let's continue on.
Okay, so let's move to the tempeh and the marinade. And here, I have tempeh. I will use tempeh today. I had been using tofu and tempeh, and I don't eat much meat, so I don't have chicken with me today, but that's another good choice and you can have. I do diagonal cuts because I want like big pieces when I'm plating the protein. You can do smaller cuts. When you do a smaller cut, you need to pay attention to the time you will take in the oven because the caution will be faster. And now I will do the marinade. You guys, I will do it. I'm already have like my own personal ratio of the ingredients and how much I like. In this case, I will start with the sriracha in here and let me go in the sides before keep advancing with the dry ingredients. I'm using a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. And I'm also have in here the lemon zest, lime zest, I'm sorry, and the ginger, a lot of ginger. And for this, I will use a good amount of soy sauce. This is the only ingredient it's going to add the salt to our dish because we're not going to add anything else. And the delicious and beautiful, I love the sesame oil. And then some honey. I will do probably 2 or 3 spoons. And you can mix with a whisk. You can just use the same spoon. I will put just a little bit of peanut butter because that flavor is pretty rich. And we already have the Greek yogurt and we don't want to overwhelm the palate with this. I will put maybe like little less than 1 spoon. And with this, I guess, yep. With this, we are ready. So it's just missing the lemon juice, a little bit more liquid. You can, of course, always, it's pretty important to try what you're doing. I am like kind of old school to try. I will use the same spoon. Yeah, it's enough spicy for me, for my taste. Then you just need to pour the tempeh or your protein to marinate. While this is marinated, we are going to do to our next step. But I guess David is somewhere and he wants to share something with us.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I am in Java, Indonesia, home of tempeh. Tempeh actually was created back in the 12th or 13th century and precedes tofu. So you're probably wondering what's the difference, or is it like tofu? It is actually a soybean product, but it is a whole soybean product. So they use the entire soybean. That's what whole means. But and on top of that, it's got more texture and it's got some of the full soybeans in it. So you'll see if you've purchased it, you'll see it has a lot more taste when you bite down on it. I love it compared to tofu, and I'm a big tofu fan. Give it a try. If you didn't try it for this recipe, give it a try sometime. Let's see what's going on back in Chicago with Katie. Do we have any questions coming in from YouTube? Or Jess, you have any questions?
We have no questions right now. Gabrielle wants to extend her thanks to Aury for spending time with us, though.
Oh, well, that's sweet. Thanks, Gabrielle.
I have a question. Can you just repeat all of the, Aury, can you repeat the ingredients that were going in that marinade for anyone who may have missed any?
Yes, so we have the sriracha. If you want like super spicy, you can go up with some red pepper flakes. If you also like to see that little shapes in your dish, and you can, then we have the sesame oil. You can add more oil if you want, kind of preferably neutral oil if you want. That's not necessary. And then we have the apple vinegar, apple cider, or rice vinegar. And we have the half lemon juice, the soy sauce, honey, salt, and pepper, and the zest. You want to also put the lime zest and the lime juice. So that will be all.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. And I will just go to the oven with my marinade product. You can keep the remaining dressing, the remaining marinade, because for when you want to serve, you want to heat it up and top your protein on your dish with it. I am going to put it into the oven. And if you are doing chicken, you be pretty careful when you reheat the marinade, because you have animal protein, so you need to heat it pretty well and probably add a little water and make you sure that your marinade is boiling. So this moment, I'm already also start with the quinoa. What I made with the quinoa, which is already working in here, I use, of course, as you always use, I use 1/2 cup of quinoa and 1 cup of water, which is the double ratio. And to don't lose sometimes the cilantro stem, I always use it for soup or also for cooking rice or whatever you want to enhance the flavor. In this case, I put some stems of the cilantro to enhance the flavor. You need to start with high heat. Then you're going to reduce it when you see that the quinoa is absorbing the water. You can cover it and let it sit, or you can leave it like that. Normally, I cover all the grains when they are reducing water. That will make me sure that it's going to be cooked well. And with this, we already advanced into big part of the dishes. We can go to the salad. So, wait a second. We'll bring all the ingredients.
Aury, while you're doing that, let's check in with Jess. Jess, as you're following along, want to check. Do you have any questions for Aury? Are you following around with the time? Do you need more time or?
I am a little behind, so I'm following along, just trying to catch up right now.
Sure. Is there any questions or just need a little time to get going?
Just need a little time. It took me a while to grate the lemon, so and I also don't have all the ingredients, so I'm kind of just like assembling some stuff that may or may not be good. So we'll see.
What did you replace? I'm sure it will work. What did you?
I don't have any sesame oil here, so I probably won't really add any oil actually. But I added, and I also didn't have fresh ginger, so I added ground ginger, which I don't usually do. So we'll see how that turns out with it, I think.
Okay. All right.
That's good.
All right, Aury, let's go. Let's keep going then.
Okay. So I will advance with the yogurt. Here we are. You can see. So I have the Greek yogurt. Well, we start with the Greek yogurt because it's where I'm going to plate all my recipe of the salad. I stir a little to bring it together again and do it like softer. This is a pretty common way that we plate in the kitchen, so I will teach you guys a little trick, which is you took a little big dollop of this in one corner and we do like a half moon. Where this half moon finish, I will start the next one. And great. This is going to allow me to put some oil in between the row, I don't know the name, and we are going to place the ingredients just in the middle. So in my case, for this recipe, I'm using cherry tomatoes. Then I cut in halves. You can also do another kind of tomatoes. If they are bigger, just try to go smaller in quarts or eighths, because that way it will be easy to have your I don't know how you say this, your bite easily, and you don't need to work too much in the dish. I also use Persian cucumbers, and I made diagonal cuts. And just in case, if you guys haven't worked too much in the kitchen and to cut things, I would like to give you a little tip, which is when you are cutting something, like for example a cucumber, the shape of your hand needs to be followed by the knife, and your knuckles are going to stop or to guide your process. And this finger is going to move the product, the thumb. So it's just a little tip for when you're cutting, and to be, of course, safe, to have a safe cutting if you ensure your product in your hand with your fingers. And the middle, I will place just in a kind of rebel way all the ingredients. This is beautiful, colorful, and super fresh. If you're eating this salad, I just recommend you try to don't have it with regular bread, just maybe pita bread or any bread that is not raised with yeast, because your tummy won't accept that blend. Just try to use flat breads or whatever bread is not made with yeast.
Hey, Aury.
Now,
Hey,
yes.
Aury, can we take a quick break? I want to talk a little bit about Greek yogurt.
Okay, let's do it.
everyone. We are here in Nikos' belly. Nikos is a Greek cow, and we are in Greece. This is where Greek yogurt comes from. It's delicious. It is a cow's milk. I personally come in here because I want to see the process, and also because I love a few different types of Greek yogurt, but I really don't like oikos. That is... Hey, man, what are you doing here? Sorry, yeah, no, Stamos. I'm sorry. Oikos isn't my favorite. I apologize. But anyways, yeah, I guess he's doing some work down here. All right, let's get out of this. This is nasty. Here we are in the Greek island. So people ask, what's the difference between Greek yogurt and regular yogurt? Greek yogurt, well, it's strained 3 times, where regular yogurt's only strained 2 times. This makes it a lot more creamy and thick and gives it a lot more flavor. So for me personally, I love this type of Greek yogurt. Faye. There it is. It's number 2 for me to Chapani. Chapani is okay, but a little too sour. And then number 3 is, there it is, from my friend Stamos, man. Don't you have some Full House money you can go use to get a yacht? Why are you hanging out with me here? All right, let's get back to the studio. Hey, Aury.
Yeah.
And Katie, do we have any questions?
We actually do have a few questions. So
Great.
Holly wants to know, how long does the tofu stay in the oven, Aury?
The tofu will stay between 20 or 30 minutes, and all depends if you first drain a little the water. It's pretty important when you work with tofu for baking process or fry process in the stir pan to remove it and let it sit in the towel paper, and then cut it and leave it again to sit in another new paper and press in the top. You can put some press, not too heavy, depending on your tofu, or you can just try to dry the most you can. Then you will marinate it. And yes, and because of the water content, this product can be, all depends how crunchy you want. But if you are with 25 minutes, you are pretty good. You can go longer for maybe 35, but no more than that.
And is that the same for tempeh and chicken?
For chicken, it will be maybe the same, or you need to check how depend of how big are your cubes and what part of the chicken are you using, the breast or the thighs. You need to be checking. I always try to set a timer in 20 minutes for any of the kind of the protein you're using. Then you can check how you're going. You can probably flip if you need it, because the sugars of the marinade are going to burn pretty easy. So probably you will need to flip. And yes, you can use for chicken. You can also set the timer, the oven at 400 if you're just going to do chicken.
Got it. Cool. And then we had another question from Jess about the peanut butter. Does that come into play in the marinade?
Yes, I use some of the marinade because I want to enhance more the flavor of the seeds. That's why I'm also using the sesame seeds. I like those flavors. It's not necessary at all. It's an extra thing that I add. You can avoid it if you are allergic. That's why I put it like an optional list. And you can also avoid the sesame seed if you have any allergy.
So if someone forgot to put the peanut butter in the marinade at the beginning, do they put it in? Can they still add it in at any time, or it really has to go in at the beginning?
Yes, of course. When you reheat again the marinade to plate the dish, you can put it in there. And then you're going to have like a true different little contrast in the dish, and that will be pretty interesting.
Great.
Great. I think that's all the questions we have. We just need to remind that Stamos needs to respect social distancing. Dave.
Yes.
John, I've got my poll that John Kerr showed me this morning, so I've been using it for social distancing. Don't you all worry, okay? I'm keeping my distance. Let's go back and Aury, let's keep going on these recipes. What's next?
Yes. Sorry. Hey, talking about flip. If you see the tempeh is already a little caramelized, so I'm flipping this. And this process you can also put it again into the marinade and put it back again if you want like really flavorful tempeh. Oh, talking about tempeh, if you guys want to enhance the flavor and how much flavor this can absorb, I will recommend you to steam the tempeh for about 10 minutes, and then it will be ready to use. I forgot it for completely, but that's a really good really good step to follow when you're working with tempeh. What I'm doing in here is soaking again into the marinade just to do it the stronger flavor in per se in the tempeh, and I will put it back into the oven, and I will also check how is it going with the sweet potato. So here we are. Let's see. See, like it's still hard and cooking in a certain spot is softer. So I will put it back again and making sure to cover well. It's hot, so be careful.
Hey, Aury, can I talk a little bit about sweet potatoes?
Sure, go ahead.
So you guys, TSA is really quick. I'm getting all over right now. The airports are empty. I'm here in Asheville, North Carolina. Yes, as you know, the governor reopened just last week, and we are at Sunny Point Cafe. Sweet potatoes are actually, although grown all over the world, they are also grown in North Carolina. And North Carolina is, since 1971, has been the biggest producer of sweet potatoes in the U.S. Sweet potatoes are also grown in the Pacific Islands, in South India, in Uganda, and other African countries. Aury, you know a little bit about sweet potatoes. What are some of the health benefits of sweet potatoes?
Well, sweet potato, it has an important source of magnesium, and magnesium has an element that can fight the depression and anxiety. So for this present moment, when we are kind of overwhelmed thoroughly or with a lot of questions around our heads, it would be good to have these kind of products with us. Also have a really good anti-inflammatory properties, and the combination between soluble fiber and not soluble fiber make this product pretty accurate for people who has sugar problems. So it's super good for those who have kind of sugar problems, like high sugar. You can for sure have sweet potato. Sweet potato has like tons of benefits. There are a lot, and I really don't know by detail all of them. I haven't checked, and I saw there are a lot of good benefits, and it's also good because the feeling of satisfaction in our stomach and our belly will be longer than other starch and other products like that.
Like so bread and things like that. You feel a little more satisfied. You feel more satisfied than like a bread or something. It fills you up. And personally, I remember my time when I used to live in Seoul, Korea. It was pretty cool because they used to sell those right on the street. They'd barbecue them. You can actually just like grill them outside on a barbecue. You could go out on the street and pick them up. So there's tons of ways to cook them, right, Aury?
Yes. I choose baked in this occasion because we will need that texture in the dish. You can have chips in the oven. if you don't want to fry, which is the best option. You can do purées, you can do like soups with that. I use it a lot for the curries because I love to give that sweet flavor to the curries, and I always use our pumpkin or sweet potatoes for the vegan curries or vegetarian curries because I always use ghee. And so yeah, there are a lot of multiple choices. It already has the right proportion of sugar, so we don't need to add any other processed crazy sugar. As it is just perfect. So if we can enjoy it with less elements, that would be great because we will respect all the properties of this food.
Great. All right, Katie, can I check in? Is there any questions out there? Should we keep going?
There are no questions. Jess did point out, though, that magnesium also helps with sleep. I don't know if anybody else has been having trouble with sleep like I have, but I think I'm going to be stocking up on some sweet potatoes. Thank you, Jess.
Good call,
That would be
Jess.
great.
Jess, can I ask too, how's everything going with the cooking? Is good? Are you good to keep going?
Yeah, good to keep going. I'm still a little behind, but I think I can catch up, so don't worry about me.
All right, sounds good. We will keep rolling. Aury, let's keep rolling.
Okay, we'll go now with finish this salad. I'm already, as you know, guys, I'm already checked the tempeh and the sweet potato, and I add a little bit of more of water to my quinoa because I want the quinoa open pretty well. So I just put a little bit more, and with that we will be ready soon. The quinoa is going to be part of our dish, and what we want to use, the amount we want to use, probably is going just to be the size of your fist. Try to imagine that when you serve, because we already have one carb, and this has high fiber, but we don't want to confuse too much our stomach, and we are also going to use some kale with the quinoa. When the quinoa start to get a little dry, I will go to that step. By the moment, I will finish the presentation of the salad. So in here, always leave some whole leaves of cilantro that is going to be used for our garnish for the decoration of the dish. And in here, I have some mint leaves. For the dressing of this salad, you can use mint, you can use parsley, or you can use cilantro leaves. All of them are going to be just precious and super refreshing for the dish. So don't you worry, you can choose one of those herbs. I haven't tried with basil, but I guess it can be also a good choice for this. What I'm going to do is a cut that is called chiffonade, which is you just place all the leaves one on top of the other with the vein aligned. And because I don't want to kill this beauty green, so you can just chop it if you want, but I feel like I'm going to kill the leaf. So what I'm going to do is remove a little the big part of the vein, and again with the same movement of my fingers leading my cut, I will do pretty thin slices of the mint. That is easier because it's a long leaf. If you have another kind of leaf, don't you worry being so, I don't know, so hectic. And in here we have the lime juice, and I pour just the mint leaf and some salt. The reason why I'm not tossing the ingredients with the dressing is because I really want to keep each ingredient as it is and has color for as it is, and don't destroy them when I'm moving. All these two ingredients are super watery. If we put it into the bowl and start to mix, we're going to have a kind of mess. at the end, and the cucumber is going to get the color of the tomato, and I guess that's not what we want. And so you will just need to solve a little the salt that is in the bottom of the glass, and I will pour it and spread the leaves. If you chop it in little pieces, sometimes it's easier and faster than the cut. So I want you to try to get a right distribution around on top of the whole dish. And the cumin is another ingredient. I would like to add the cumin around the Greek yogurt as much as you want.
Hey, Ori, do you
Black
mind,
pepper.
can you bring the plate up to the camera a little bit when you finish so people can see it? It's just
Yeah,
it's a
sure.
little more visible.
Yeah, let me go to the last two steps, which is the olive oil, little in the border and another little in this, and some on the top. And I choose pine nuts because it comes from the same lands, but you don't need to have pine nuts. You can just leave it like that. If you want the little crunchy surprise, you can add another seed that you feel is going to pair with the flavors you have and also with your kind of palate. So here we are. I don't know if it's
That looks great.
Yep. You can rectify flavors if you want a little bit more of salt or something. But this is a pretty fresh salad. You can have it just like a snack, having like the little pieces of this and start to grab the yogurt. And if you have tahini, go ahead. I will put some tahini in the top or maybe on one side. And now I will show you how is it going with quinoa. It's already dry, as you see. It have big holes. And this time, I will add the kale and leave it in there to rest for a little. And this steam is going just to help me to tenderize and soft the kale. That way, we are continuing to plate. Let's see how is it going with the sweet potato and the tempeh. The tempeh is already done. It has a beautiful color. I would like just to leave it like this. I don't know if everyone can see. It smells super good, and I will leave it in this color. For me is now I will here's our canopy where we have the butter, the ghee working with the garlic. I don't know if you can see. The garlic already shared all his flavor. And now I will go with the potatoes. Here we are. You can smell the coconut oil and you can see how it's already cooked. It's perfect. And all this during this real time. And so I will start to scrap. I just need, well, I can do it with this. It's pretty hot now. With this movement, I will make me sure that I like processing a little bit more. And I'm also cooling down a little bit the let me bring a dish, and that way we can start to work into the final presentation. What I want to do in here is just to scrub the puree. If you want to process more this, like maybe process more in a kitchen, how you call that, in a mixer, you can go that way. I just will do with this rebel texture of the puree and the sides. And because this colorful element is going, I want to see it. I want to put the quinoa in the middle, and that's why I want this being the base of my protein. If you have the chance to find the purple sweet potato, the purple sweet potato have much more benefits than this one. I couldn't find it, but just if you want to check it out and discover what is the difference between both, the purple one is the winner. And this case, as you see, the steam of the quinoa. Steam of the quinoa. Sorry, guys, it's my alarm.
Hey, all right, wow. Well, man, you are on fire over there, Aury. This is looking delicious. I wish I could have been cooking along. Luckily I got to try this a little bit last week, and I had a few tastes, and it was unbelievable. I'm looking forward to seeing how this new kale and quinoa salad comes out. And just before Aury finishes up, I want to go to one little tip we have from the Blue Zones. Dennis, can you take us to the slide deck? Cool. Let's get down to the part for the Blue Zones. You can scroll right through. And there it is. One back. All right, this is good. So I don't know if anyone's aware of the Blue Zones, but the Blue Zones are, if you haven't heard of them, they are areas around the world where there are centurions living. Centurions are anyone who's over 100 years old. So a few of them include Italy and Okinawa. Jess probably knows a few more, but Okinawa is an island in the southern part of Japan, just off of the coast, way out in the Pacific. And if you go to the next slide, they have something that they do there called HACHI, which is to stop unwanted weight gain, which I know all of us are dealing with right now. I don't know if you can see it, that's why I'm wearing black. But you always want to eat only until you're 80% full and wait a little bit so your stomach will start to feel that fullness. And this HACHI, to be able to practice this, some little suggestions you can do is use smaller plates and smaller utensils. Half of your plate should be fruit or veggies. Aury's on fire over there again. Only eat at the table. And don't hurry. Savor your meal. And drink more water. And finally, try eating using your non-dominant hand. And I'm going to throw one in there at the end. Try eating using your feet. Man, that'll slow you down. Aury, how are you doing over there? It sounds like you've put the fire out. Are you okay? And is everything going all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. All right, let's finish up here. We just got a few minutes left.
Okay. Let's do it. I was trying to do this a little softer. Okay, guys. So I will do something that is pretty common in my country with the rice, but I will do it in here just to give some shape to to the quinoa. Let's see. I oil a little bit this bowl, and I will press. Oh, I should do this at the beginning. Let's see if that works. Thing is, I should do this at the beginning, but let's do it now. Okay, something. And the protein. You can just have it inside. So this is a plate, and you can just turn in the middle and share. I will use some of these leaves. This is the cilantro leaves for the middle. Here is our golden bath. Then can go on top of the puree. And as you see, it's pretty yellow, beautiful, and it's already giving more color to the dish, which is my favorite part, colorful dishes. And if you want, you can also bring some green onions, just a little bit like this. And if you also want, you can go, remember to heat it up this again, that I can just spread some on top of the protein. You want to. You can put it also on the side and have it like a little dip or something like that. And with this, let me bring the other dish. We'll be ready to have dinner. So here we are. We have two pretty colorful and healthy dishes tonight for have dinner. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, go through. Hey, everyone. Wow, Aury, this looks amazing. Katie, what do we have any questions out there before we talk about this? I mean, what a recipe. It looks unbelievable. I am starving, and I wish someone could just bring that over to me right now.
I think Aury did such a great job at explaining everything that nobody has any questions.
Okay.
Jess would want to say that you're doing great, Aury. Everything looks awesome. Fergus says it looks great. I know that some of you are not cooking with us, but if you want to cook tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to send out recipes for everybody with directions, ingredients, all the things that we talked about, little tips about why sweet potatoes are so great, good things about tempeh, Greek yogurt, and all that good stuff. So that'll be going out soon. Also, if you did cook with us, please post pictures of your beautiful recipe to Virtual Vibes on Jostle. We're going to be doing a cake contest or photo contest, so you can win a cake, as Dave mentioned earlier.
Yes, one of Aury's special cakes. I've tried them. They are delicious.
Yes, healthy, by the way.
Well, you can do healthy or unhealthy, whichever way you want. You can do them as decadent as you like. But let's just to wrap up. Let's go back to the slide deck. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Aury, very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next slide. All right, so cooking with Aury. If you guys had fun today and would like to join Aury for some more cooking, she does a few different things, including first off, and this time you can schedule a time with her to do something called What's in Your Fridge. And if you are looking for a recipe, you can show her what's in your fridge, and she can help you pick a recipe for just a small fee, just 10 or 15 bucks. Also meal prep plans, she can help with that. She does baking, healthy and or decadent, whatever you are looking for some type of a party or just to enjoy during the week. We've got private classes if you wanted to learn any of this type of virtual classes with her. Dinner parties and catering for small groups. I think once we get the doors back open and we're all out there, she's able to come over and help out with any kind of dinner parties and catering. So what's coming soon from Health and Wellness? We've still got our HIT class every week. It's been going well. I did mine this morning. I watched one of the records. We're going to have a place where those are all going to live so that you can find those. If you don't get to catch it on our normal Tuesday 4 o'clock time, you can always go back and watch them again. Great work, Eugene, Mark, and Katie, for organizing those. They are kicking my butt. We've got the tie-dye class coming in May, and that's going to be in the 3rd week of May. We're just doing some prep and learning how we can use some different spices and foods. So we might call on you for some more info on that. So now, last thing, virtual production insight. Wow. So let's just break this down here, what we did today. So our goal was to learn how much can one single operator switch in this back-end program called eCams. And this project, as you saw, was getting close to the limit. Actually, the program failed right before the show, and that's why you guys saw some of those little glitches up front with the lower thirds. We definitely got to test it out and see, hey, is this something that we want to use with one of our clients? And it might be something that if we do use, we want to limit it, how we use it. I think we got really pushed to the edge with this green screen that we're using here. So we tested a collapsible impact green screen. It's only $60. And it worked all right. It's a little bit small. Again, the lighting is a big thing here in terms of getting the presenter lit correctly and the back green screen lit correctly. And I think that was one of the things that made the system fail, because we had to play with that a lot. So also, I think that was a big learning. It was great. And you also saw in terms of the keying with the mask when we were live in Asheville, we had a little problem with that. So that again comes down to the lighting. So something that's going to be really hard to control remotely for us. We tested out a Sony 4K camera. This one we didn't use in the recording because it also required some additional components. Again, this goes back to our tech kits that we're thinking about building. So another thing that maybe if we want to add a higher level camera, we're going to have to think about adding some of those components. Costs might go up. Maybe it doesn't fit in. We added a shotgun mic. You can let me know if you thought the audio was any better. And then we did all the tech run-throughs with the presenters. And I think the one thing that we didn't get fully through is we didn't do a full run-through with the recipes alongside with those throws to the green screen. I think in retrospect, we probably could have just pre-recorded the green screen and thrown to them and picked out a little better time. So awesome learnings and great things to think about when we give these kind of ideas to the client. So just to wrap up, let's see our whole team on screen. Thank you all for joining us. There they all are. Dennis, Aury, Katie, Jess. Thank you guys very much for coming, and we will be posting this again. See you guys.